Hi, so I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. Hi Florence. Hello Florence. Oh my goodness. Um, a couple of things that I've been going through this last, well, probably about a week to 10 days. So, I think in our spiritual walk, we're always kind of more and more of us is being revealed to ourselves. More and more of the truth of God is being revealed to us. And we are learning more and more how to surrender our life, our plans, our future, our desires, our hearts, our minds, our soul, our strength to Him. And it's a process. And sometimes we backslide out of fear, out of, well, there could be many reasons. But I have found that I had been afraid because I became quite ill about 5 years ago, and it really did scare me. And I kind of felt like, what God was asking of me was, it was demanding too much, and then not giving me the strength to do what was being demanded of me. And now from prayer and hindsight, I see that actually He was just trying to lead me into a deeper relationship with Him through that experience, and helping to peel back layers of myself that were superfluous and not necessary anymore, and to trust in Him at a deeper level, even in a season of brokenness. Because I think that we're often taught these days, especially, that God only wants us to prosper, and I mean in a kind of material way, and He does want us to prosper, but He wants our soul to prosper. He wants our soul to be rich in Him, not in ourselves, not in our strength, but in His. And to do that, we have to lean on Him. And to learn to lean on Him, sometimes we have to, the crutches that we have relied upon have to be taken from us. But I did run from what I felt He was asking of me. And I think I kind of just started going through the motions in terms of just praying, but not letting it go too deep, because I knew what it was asking of me. It was asking, I was afraid of what it was asking of me, and I stopped reading the Bible because I knew I wasn't following what it was asking of me properly, and I kind of went through the motions of it. And I think I relied a lot on the internet, and little by little I kind of came away from my true path, and that still small voice that whispers, "This is the way, walk in it." And I started to, my husband was made redundant, and I started to fear I started to become more materialistic. When we were pretty poor, I had less to lose, and so my focus was not really on the material. But we have gone through homelessness, we've gone through, poverty, really. I mean, relative poverty, not, we've never starved or anything, but we've gone through relative poverty, and it's been hard. And I was afraid to trust God with, providence, especially as I had become ill. And I understand now that God was leading me to a much deeper form of trust in him, and a trust in him through all seasons of life, and a deeper surrender, because he wants our souls, he wants our souls for eternity, for not just for this earth. We're not made for this world. This world is a bridge, pass over it, but build no house upon it. It's a saying they say is attributed to Jesus, although it's not in the canon. But I do think that it does express, what Jesus tried to say in the Gospels. And so anyway, about 10 days ago, various things, I don't know what led to it really, but I've always felt like, I've always had like a sorrow if I've kind of offended God. I've had like a deep sorrow about it because he's been so good to me. But I've never had like a holy fear of God. And I think it's because, and I've always been confused by, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And I think it's because God knew, for various reasons, that I needed a loving Father. I needed just to see that side of him, that unconditional love side of him. And that I was not ready to see. I was not ready to see, the judge that he is as well. And even though he's a righteous judge, I think it would have been too much for me. To draw close to him, I needed the unconditional embrace of the loving Father, that side of him. And he meets us all where we are, as individuals, as children, as we all try to meet the needs of our individual children as they are. You never bring up two children exactly in the same way. You try to meet them as they are, and you modify the way that you parent them to suit them, their individual personalities and needs. And God does that for us, but in a perfect way. Where we parent imperfectly, he parents perfectly, and he is such a loving Father. And so I don't know if he felt I was ready, but this fear, this quaking fear, I was trembling with fear at how far short I had come, how lukewarm I was, how my faith had been shaken, how easily it had been shaken, how much I had turned from him out of fear, how little I was surrendering to him, and how short my life was, and what were my real priorities, what really mattered to me. Was it, material things? Was it to, I don't know, have some kind of recognition of my existence in the world? Was it to just go through the motions, or was it to do what I was meant to do here according to his purpose for me, and to live that and to walk in that way properly, truly surrender? And from that moment, this feeling I deleted so much that I had written over the years. I deleted so many apps on my phone. I spent days without the kind of apps, the social media apps that I normally would kind of, scroll through during the day, and, whenever I had a break or a spare minute, kind of watch a YouTube video or scroll through, Instagram or something, and I just did not do that. And at first it was kind of like there was nothing. It was just this kind of dry emptiness. And then there was this breakthrough. I read this verse that said, what delight comes to those who wait on the Lord. And I said, God, I'm going to wait on you. I'm not going to seek you I'm not going to seek other diversions from you, or seek you in false things. I'm going to just wait in silence and stillness and trust. And it's kind of transformed everything. I feel this revival in my soul. It feels like things are waking up. It feels like there's like stirring new life on that which was dying and feeling dead. I feel there's new blossom, new tender growth, and yeah. So, and it's really helped me, it's kind of made everything clear. I mean, or so much clear to me about how much junk we fill our minds with, how much junk I filled my mind with, that when I would close my eyes before I went to sleep at night, my mind would be filled with all this stuff that I had been watching, reading, listening to, things from, things that had nothing to do with my actual life and the people around me that I actually affect by my behaviour and my attitude, my energy and my focus. And I realised that, we cram ourselves full of this stuff, and then when it comes to, let's read the Bible, we have this spirit of, just this, I can't, this sort of horrible, I don't know. It's because we filled our minds with these other spirits, really, and those spirits don't want to read the Bible. They don't want to be revealed for what they really are. And so you've filled your house full of these kind of spirits from all the social media that you're watching and reading, and things, even if it's kind of like stories and that seem important, or social justice issues or anything, if it's not what, if you're taking on things that are not burdens, that are not meant to be your burdens, they haven't been ordained for you, they aren't within your power to do anything for or about, then you will be overburdened, you will be overwhelmed, emotionally drained, spiritually drained, and you'll have then less energy for the responsibilities and duties that you have in your actual life, and that's certainly how that's how it affects me. So I can only speak for myself, but that's how it affects me. And so I've made, for the last few days, I've just not devoted my energy or time or focus to those things. And so much has cleared, so much space has cleared, so much peace has come. Where there is haste and strife, God is a God of peace, and better a crust of bread with peace than feasting with strife. In Proverbs it says. I love that proverb. So many lessons that I've been learning, and I just, I feel now so like the first thing I want to do in the morning is just sit in stillness and quiet with God, and then read the Bible and just saturate myself in it. And I've been making, playlists of worship music and praise music, and throughout the day I've been going back to my secret place, the place of prayer, just between me and God, between a child and their father. And I feel there's been a real change, and I just wanted to share that because I don't know if other people might relate or for some reason need these words, but I'm just kind of offering them up, in the spirit of, sharing and honesty and love. Well, thank you for listening. I don't know if I'll do more videos like this. I can't say it's easy for me to be this open. I have to pray about it. Some things are just meant to be between us and God, and some things, are meant for us to share. So thank you for listening. I'm being called by children and cats. So anyway, God bless. Bye.